Yo, what is going on, gamers? And today I have a new piece for you today. Can you take a guess what it's gonna be? I'll give you a few seconds. It might be another Frieren piece. I've been doing Frieren pieces a lot lately, and you guys all know, if you've watched a few of my other videos, especially my Frieren videos, you know that when I do a Frieren video or a Frieren piece, that often means that I'm trying something new. So, what is new this time? Well, something that has been bothering me as of late is that I find that I will get to like the full body of an image and then I'll start messing around with a bunch of stuff, and I won't take my time anymore with just the head and the upper body. I don't really put a lot of detail in it like I used to, and when I used to, it was pretty bad. So what I wanted to do with this one is really challenge myself to take my time with going from the head to the to the lower stomach area. Mid stomach is where I kind of wanted to have this piece, and my plan with this is that I'm going to do everything with line work. And what I mean by this is that whenever I do the hair on all my characters, I find it looks so flat and just terrible. And why is this the case? Well, it's generally because uh, I do use the Loomis method for outlining the head, and I know kind of where the center of the head is and where everything needs to go. But then when I do the hair, I just pixel art with pixel art. Like sometimes you just want to go and I just start scribbling down hair, and that's usually what I do. With this piece, I decided that instead of doing that and having a overall flat kind of hair, what I decided to do was instead, I'm going to use this line work, and I'm going to take the hair and divide it up into all its parts before I fill out the actual coloring. I'm going to figure out where the separations are in the twin tails in the back. I'm going to figure out where the front hair is going to kind of land, and then after I do all that, then I will fill in the hair. That is kind of the overall goal with this piece. The biggest goal was to have decent looking hair and a position that looks good. That's all I wanted to do with this, and honestly, at the end, I think I really succeeded. The clothing, I feel like, was okay. At the end, you'll see, especially with like the not the shirt, but the little thing that she has over her shirt. I think I could have done a little bit better with that, but I was going around in circles at the end, and if I really wanted to make it super great, I think I would have taken away a lot more detail in the end, and that would have caused me to have to kind of restart a little bit. So I just decided against it. Let's turn this out and work on the next project and try a different kind of hair. That was my overall goal. And again, I've been also preaching taking my time, and how I've been doing that is that instead of doing a day for something like this, which I usually would do, it would take me a few hours, I split it up into 2 days. I took 2 days to do this instead of one. I took a lot more time. I think this overall took 6 or 7 hours, just because I really wanted to get the detail in, and I spent probably a good hour to an hour and a half doing the pelvis. As you can see here, as I'm going through, I'm getting really frustrated because I don't know why. I'm just like, I don't really know what the pose I want to do is, and I'm trying a new method out and it's not really working out too well. So I decided to mess around a few times to see if I can get something down. If I can't, then I actually end up taking a previous pose that I used for my Halloween special, and I took that and souped it up a little bit differently, just because I was having kind of a rough go. I needed to kind of look at my notes again while doing this, and honestly, I just didn't really want to. I was like, oh, it's just, for some reason, I'm just not kind of getting it. I don't know why. The pelvis was just giving me a lot of trouble this time around, and drawing like exactly how I want to. I don't know why. Sometimes, some days I just have this, like, I've done this so many times and I can do it. I know I can. It's just, I was just getting really frustrated with this one for whatever reason, but it is what it is. I got it through in the end. It just took a few tries, but once we kind of get that going, I work on the hair a lot of detail in the hair, and I just want to for the next, I don't know, month, 2 months, my main focus is stomach, upper torso, area. That's what I want to get my anatomy. I want to get better at hands too. This one I kind of just keep the hands away, just because I didn't want to focus on it this time around, because again my main focus is having a lot more detail in the hair and the upper kind of chest area. That's kind of where I want to get my stuff. I want to get the chest to look correct. That's something that's been really hard for me, but I find that trying to keep it more simple has really helped. I try to just kind of, instead of like I used to for the breast in particular, is like I would add like 3 or 4 shades on it, and it would just make it look so ugly. And I try to define exactly where everything is. And I'm not amazing at anatomy, so then it end up really looking kind of garbage, just because I don't know exactly where I need to place these things. I can of course draw the pelvis and then, you know, draw the chest muscle and then find the thing. But I find whenever I do that, it just looks like garbage. So I try to kind of freeball it a little bit and just enjoy it. I'm trying not to do 100% anatomy. I like to kind of have my characters look a little bit more cartoony. I find that's kind of where my style's kind of headed. I'm not exactly sure if this is exactly where my style's going to be, but it's definitely changed from what it was like a month ago, even like a few weeks ago. Honestly, like my style has drastically changed over the few months or whatever I've been doing, just because I've been learning the Loomis method for the head, and actually having correct head. And I've been taking my time and detailing things a lot more and trying to keep things a little bit more simplistic. And also, if you haven't noticed, I've been doing a lot more outlining work, and that really helps pop out things. Also kind of make them look a little bit more cartoony, and I kind of like that. I'm kind of digging that, so I'm gonna keep doing it for now. We'll see kind of how it goes out. But yeah, right now, like, I like kind of where the dress is kind of, or I don't even know, the upper shirt, I don't know what to freaking call it. I like kind of how it's looking right now, and honestly I wish I kind of just added a little bit more detail and just kept it how it is now. I think I added a little bit too much, just trying to worry about like the lighting a little bit too much and doing too many things. I was doing a little bit too much. Like, I would have changed the shoulder pad on the right, like trimmed it down even more, and then kind of kept this in a little bit of shading, like showing some ripples in the clothing. That's probably where I would have ended it. Honestly, looking back, like, I kind of like where it's at, just keeping it simple. I definitely over engineered it a little bit in the end, and that's okay. It's a learning experience. It's good to know that doing too much can be kind of bad. And that's something I struggle with a lot, and this is a good reminder. I'm happy with how it turned out, but of course I wish I had a little bit less detail in that clothing area. But I've also been, if you watched any of my recent videos, been working on with lighting and making sure that things look correct and following a light source. I typically have my light source at the top right. This one I changed up a little bit. It's coming from the top left, as you can probably tell by the left side being a lot more light than the right. I'm just trying to keep things simple. I'm not trying to do any backlighting or coming from weird angles or anything like that. I don't want to do that right now because it's really hard. I'm just trying to get as much detail as I can and make sure everything looks correct with minimal amount of lighting that I have. I'm going to get a little bit more crazy with it as the months go on, of course, but for now I'm just going to keep it simple, and I think it's been working out a lot more. If you've seen any of my really earlier pieces, which you can check out at my Twitter, just a shameless plug, but I post like everything there, like all my pieces, except for like my really early stuff. I only started my Twitter, I think, when I was in like my 80th day or something like that, maybe my 70th. So you don't see all my really bad ones, but oh my god, like some of my early ones that I posted on Twitter, like I was super proud of. Then I look at it now and I'm like, where is the lighting even going? What is the hair doing? What is... And then like my characters would look like monsters because I didn't have the Loomis method. What I used to do is I would draw a circle, and then after I draw the circle, I would just I didn't even have a center line. I wouldn't even have a center line. I would just pick where I want the end of the jaw to be. I'd be like, okay, from the middle to here is about where a woman, like the max amount of woman would be for like, I figured all that just like the sections, like the lengths, and I wouldn't have a center line. I would just I would just put like 3 pixels down and I would connect the dots and it would cause some of my characters look like monsters. It's hilarious. If you go check out some of them on my Twitter, Civil Zesty, it is actually really hilarious to look at. But yeah, anyways, I'm really happy with how the hair, if you can see right now, the hair is turning out phenomenal. It's a lot better than what my usual hair looks like. Looking back, one thing I would change is like the right side, kind of like a tail coming out of the front of the head there, like the bangs. Like the right side, I wish was just a little bit thicker. Other than that, like I don't really have any complaints about the hair. Like, it has kind of a nice 3D effect to it, which is really what I've been kind of aiming at. I really want to have a nice, like the hair actually looks like it's hair. It actually looks like it has volume to it. Like a lot of my pieces, look back at some of them, they just look like plastic. They look like sheets of paper. It just looks friggin' terrible. But I'm really proud with how this came out. This is a step in the right direction. I'm going to continue doing this. I really like doing the line work. I think that was fantastic. It was a great idea, and I'm going to do that with all my pieces now. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate y'all sticking around, listening to me yap for 10 minutes or so. But anyways, again, check out the description down below. That's where you can check out my Twitter if you haven't seen it already. I also, if you've been looking for palettes or anything like that, I have a in the description a low spec. It's a website I use for all my palettes, how I get all my colors. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and you have yourself a wonderful day. Peace.